Tap once, and that's a mute, and then tap one, and that's on. Now everybody knows how to use this. Check 1, 2. Ooh. 1, 2, 3. Do that again. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Final Presentations. Startup Week in Orlando, 2026. Can you believe it's 2026? How many of you in the room were not here all weekend and you have no idea what we just did? Is there a few? We got a few guests. Okay, good. I'll get you up to speed, but first, I want to introduce our esteemed judging panel. Okay, we're going to meet the judges. I'm going to pass, for now, let me pass this mic to you, and one at a time, maybe you can stand up and introduce yourselves to us. These kids have got to be tired of me by now, and it'll be refreshing to hear a new voice. Who wants to start? Garima?
Right here. Hey everyone, I'm Garima Shah. I am the co-founder and president of a company called Billergenie. I've been in fintech for the past 25 years. So I was on the technology side, and we started Billergenie as a startup 6 years ago. We don't get to call ourselves a startup anymore because we've got about 110 employees and 2 offices, and just completed our Series B round in London. So so I'm really excited to be here, and I can't wait to hear your ideas. And I brought my little 13-year-old assistant with me.
Well, hi, I'm Michael Shantz. I used to be at Disney for 27 years. I was at Texas Instruments for 13 years before that. Helped build a team, the simulation analysis team there. We worked on the development of rides and shows, and then robotic systems, and then we did a big data analytics, AI data analytics analysis for industrial analytics, but also am a concert and jazz pianist. I studied classical music, so that's kind of like my art side. But I retired, like I said, I retired about 1.5 years ago, and now I have my own little mini company and just trying to help out startups like y'all. So really looking forward to hearing all your great ideas.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Carol Ann Lowe. Many of you may know me from my former role as director of the UCF Business Incubation Program. Some of you may know me from my role as director of Central Florida TechCo, co-founder there. That is a Department of War-funded innovation center out in Research Park. And I did step away from UCF about 1 year ago. The word retirement is not in my vocabulary at all, as many of you know that know me. So while I have continued to volunteer a lot for events like this and other tech entrepreneurship organizations, I did just recently give in and say yes that I will be part-time director of the Florida Photonics Cluster. And if you are not familiar and aware of the extraordinary internationally known concentration of optics, photonics, and lasers in not just Central Florida, but across Florida, and UCF being a real key to all that, and the fact that your world would pretty much stop if it wasn't for optics and photonics. I'd love to tell you more, so let's talk. And Michael's right, don't be scared of us, right? We will all be gentle but truthful.
Thank you so much for being here. We're going to dive right in. Here are the judging criteria by which your projects will be measured tonight. There are 3 buckets. The first is validation. This weekend, we have been focused on learning directly from the people for whom we are creating value, the shape and size of their needs. We're focused on the problem first. What problem are we solving? And how do a variety of people experience that problem? And does our solution, the thing we had in mind, the shiny object, our pet idea, match that? And if it doesn't, how can we adapt to the real world so that we are successfully creating value for other humans? I love Startup Weekend because it focuses us that way. The second bucket is execution and design. And this emerges naturally out of validation. Once we have collected real information from real humans in the real world, does our design reflect what we've learned? Are we able to adapt to it? Maybe the whole format, the whole mode of our solution, of our offering changes, and we have to be open to that. That's one of the hardest parts as an entrepreneur, because we get very attached to the way we'd like to do things. Design really does matter. Some of us have been working on highly complex projects, and the judges understand that you can only get so far in a weekend. You can't build a rocket ship at Startup Weekend, but you could design one. Others of us might have prototyped an app, perhaps with the help of AI. We've created a functional prototype, and someone's actually using it. That often happens at startup weekend. Sometimes, and I challenge you all this weekend, people actually have sales by Sunday night. We'll be interested to see if that has happened this weekend. The third bucket is the business model. And this has to do with your go-to-market strategy, your marketing strategy, your accounting, your financials, your, what am I missing? The overall business model, your supply chain, your cost structure. Do you understand what it's going to take to create this value before you go out and try to trade it? And many other things. I'm giving you a very abbreviated summary. But these three buckets are weighed evenly. And so you can tell our focus is really heavily on that customer discovery and how it influences the others. Our friends today have been on a wild ride. This weekend, for those of you who weren't with us, I'll give you the 30-second overview. Friday night, we collected around 100 people in another room here, and at the end of the night, we had this thing called pitch fire. Every person that has brought a problem or an idea has 60 seconds to tell us what problem they want to solve, how they imagine solving it, and what kind of team they need to pull together this weekend to make it happen. And then we vote. The attendees, the people that are going to become members of these teams, vote for the ideas that they want to work on. And as a community, we decide which things we're going to tackle. We voted and we selected the top 12 out of around 50 original proposals. The top 12 then were brought up and presented to the room, and we organically formed teams around them. They weren't assigned. This just emerged. People were attracted to the things that they wanted to build. Most of these people were strangers when they came in. All of these projects were built from scratch this weekend. No prior work is allowed. And then we spent the rest of the weekend going through different methods and practicing, figuring out, does our idea match with reality in the world, and learning from real people. Is this going to solve your problem? I think that's enough of an explanation. There's a lot of other things that go into it. We learn about business models. We practice some storytelling. We figure out how to research and explore, and then think critically about competition, indirect and direct, and a bunch of other things. I'm trying to teach you all now. I want to catch you up. Please come to the next startup weekend. I hopefully you feel like you missed out on something wonderful. It's absolutely amazing. So tonight, what you're going to see is not necessarily the journey. People are going to show you the result. And it's a little bit like a Shark Tank. It's a little bit like a pitch competition. What you're about to see are 5-minute presentations from 11 teams. After each 5-minute presentation, the judging panel has 3 minutes to grill them with questions. Only the judges get to ask questions. Everybody else has to be quiet. I have to say that more often than you think. But that's the way this works. They have 3 minutes. I have built into the timer warning sounds. Don't be alarmed. These are just to keep you on your toes. The 5-minute timer has an alarm sound that will ding at 60 seconds. That means you have 1 minute left, okay? The 3-minute timer dings a warning sound when you have 30 seconds left. I find that's about the right amount of time for one big question or 2 quick questions from the judges. So that's to keep you guys on your toes. You're going to see this timer, which Alex is running in the front row. Very visible, all right? So you have a strong cue there. How's this going to work? Let me do a little blocking, a little staging. We're going to keep the flow moving quickly. If I teach you all this once and you pay close attention, this will work well. We're going to have a team on deck, which is over here. This is the staging area. During one team's Q&A, the next team, or whoever's presenting, will sneak up to this area, and I will be here to meet you. That way, when the Q&A is over, you are ready to come on stage, and we can seamlessly move to the next project. And I will be here. There will be a few seconds of downtime, and we'll all just put up with that. It's a little awkward. Maybe do a photo op or something. I don't know. You can kill the time with TikToks, or we're going to switch out a laptop if we have to, or swap over to the next presentation. But it'll be pretty smooth. And then the team that's leaving is going to exit stage right. Okay? Making sense? What else do we need to know? Don't walk off the stage with the clicker. I don't want to have to chase you down. You hand this off to the next team before you leave. Same with the microphone. These stay here. And lots of clapping, so much clapping. One thing that I'm going to do for the sake of the video, which we're making for Rajiv, one of our organizers who got sick from his daughter. He has the flu and he won't make it tonight. And hi Rajiv, we miss you. I assume you're going to watch this video. Making it for you. And also, we'll be able to use some of this for social media to celebrate your projects online. We'll give you these videos later if you like. I want to practice one time what happens when we're clapping. I'm going to say basically a team is coming on, and I'm going to say, give it up for such and such a team. I'm going to get off stage, and you're going to go wild, clapping them onto the stage while I'm out of the picture, right? And it's going to make it seem like they were just so popular, right? So let's try that. Give it up for next team! Oh, Orlando, you nailed it. That's great. And then you'll clap at the end too, right? Lots of celebration. Okay, you guys are going to do great. Let's see. Now, this is a surprise to you. This is the first time any of the teams know what the pitch order is. Judges, if you'd like to take a moment and fill out your sheets, I suppose we should have done that for you. Feel free to abbreviate. You need not be thorough. No one's going to see your judging rubric later. This is just for you. Okay, I have instructions. Listen, give me one clap. Everybody, I want you to look at the team that you follow. Prove it out, you're first. You don't have to do this. Every other team, obviously I didn't number them. It doesn't seem to work. You always forget. But what you won't forget is the team that you are after. So, Taylor View, when are you on deck? You're on deck during the Q&A of Gone Today Pros. BioPredict comes down here and meets me on deck during the Q&A of Trust the Deal. Does this make sense? This seems to work well. Everyone has memorized their cue is the team that you are after. Okay? Lines of ease? Judges, still scribbling? Almost there? You got it? You got it. Okay. Ooh, okay, are you nervous? I'm nervous. Yeah, prove it out. Let's get you set up. Time to prove it out.
Did I bring my purse in here? How long park are you? Like which, cross streets are there?
Where's the rest of his team?
You mean across the street from where we are right now?
Oh, I almost
You're
forgot.
Avalon
Thank
Park,
you,
right?
Jan.
No, I'm across
Here's some
from
instruction for
I was thinking you were
teams.
Avalon Park, okay.
My son
Some of
is-
you have one or two persons presenting. Maybe one of you has the whole team, but I think most of you have narrowed it down. If that's the case, I want to encourage the rest of the team to join the speaker on stage during Q&A. Because the judges may have a question, a follow-up question for the speaker that someone else on the team knows the answer to. And it's good to see everyone that was working on the project, okay? So during Q&A, definitely bring the rest of your team up. That's not mandatory, it's a strong suggestion. Also, during Q&A, I encourage you to answer questions thoroughly but concisely. You want the judges to be able to get in more questions. Making sense? Okay, those are my pro tips. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. First time, let's see, we've got 5 minutes on the clock. Just like Friday night, the timer starts when you start. Don't wait for Alec, don't look at Alec. He's got it. You're just gonna start, okay, 5 minutes on the clock, you've got a microphone, you've got a clicker, judges are ready.
We need the clapping.
Give it up for Prove It Out!
My name is Jared Dargish, co-founder of Prove It Out, and I'm trying to solve one of the most difficult things as a startup. 42% of startups fail because they're building something nobody wanted. During our interviews, we've interviewed over 20 founders. Some of them have done months to years of wasted time trying to get a product with no market demand. And even worse, some of them had a problem, but weren't sure about it. This is why we made Prove It Out. You go through a problem statement where we guide you. What do they use today? And then lastly, where does the problem fail then? We then do a deep competitor research, understanding the problem, scanning competitors, searching up Reddit, sizing the market opportunity, getting you a McKinsey-style report where we tell you if it's pursue, pass, or pivot. We'll give you suggested next steps, analyze the total market stock opportunity size, if it's growing, stagnant, or lowering, your search trends on Google, your competitive landscape with strengths and weaknesses, as well as your competitor comparisons, a Porter 5 forces, as well as my favorite, a gap analysis, identifying gaps in your market, and then lastly, a SWOT analysis. But it doesn't just stop there with the report. You can post your problem on the problem board. This is where you get real market signals. You can see if somebody wants to, would be notified if they have that same problem, somebody who will pay for it, and then lastly, somebody who would want to build that problem with you to solve it. This is our prove it out flywheel. Founders submit their problems, and reports seed the system, AI analyzes it, people signal it, and then lastly, builders look for trends and act. That is one of the other hardest problems as a founder, is that human capital. Our moat. It's not just about being AI. Day one, we have an AI baseline, but day 1,000, we have a moat that no one else can prove. Because we have agents that train on every problem that's submitted. We have also unique demand data. No LLM can show you that 200 real people have confirmed the problem and they would pay. And then lastly, the network effect value. Every founder and backer builds a living map of market demand. The more you use it, the more the map is accurate. This is 3 audiences, 1 platform. First, for founders, there's 1.5 million startups built every year that need to prove out their ideas. We have accelerators who have reviewed thousands of pitches and applications. And then lastly, builders who need to know what's worth it to build. And this has already been getting traction this weekend. We have already generated over 40 market reports, have 35 signups, and we help the team actually give them confidence to pivot. How we make money. We sell reports in bulk, and then we also sell to accelerators and VCs, where we have trend data, bulk validations, and APIs. We are disrupting the $35 billion business intelligence market. Our SAM is the 5.5 million businesses every year, because this isn't just for startups, it's for your local mom and pops as well. As well as the 1.5, our SAM is our 1.5 million startups that are produced every single year. This is our amazing team that has put this all together this weekend. And if you have a great idea, prove it out. Give it up for my team.
Jared, good, here we go. Jared, good presentation. Congratulations. What's to prevent somebody else from doing this, given that you're using AI engines and this is pretty easy data to do?
Yeah, so if you when you go back to our moat slide, our agents train every time somebody submits a problem. We also have real market valid data. So every time somebody backs a signal, that boosts that problem. So it helps create a data moat and an understanding of what the data that we need to be producing.
How do you plan on acquiring customers? You said you already have created reports and gotten customers this weekend. How did you get that customer or those customers? And how do you plan on acquiring customers in the future?
Yeah, going to events like these, we've already talked to the UCF entrepreneur professor. We've talked to actually people who run VCs and accelerators. They have to analyze and review thousands of pitches that they don't know if it's true or not. This is something that they could use to prove out that validation without doing the deep market research themselves.
And maybe this is a follow-up on what Caroline said,
Yep.
but what would keep somebody else from doing something exactly like this? I know you said that you would bring in like 1,000 other inputs or whatever, but, I mean, what wouldn't, people could just pick this up and duplicate, couldn't they, or not? Explain to me why
Yeah, so
this is different.
it's, so not only, it's about the flywheel effect. And so the more data we have, the more that the reports are more accurate, the more systematic, they're better in quality. So we are producing a gap on the information.
But can someone take data from like a Gartner or a TSG or some other and upload that into Cloud, you know, and
Yeah, that's part of our process as well. So we do attract data sources directly into our system.
okay, and you're building a systemic way of like, you're basically building a project within Cloud so it has the output?
Yeah, we're building agents, but specifically designed for research, reporting, and connecting them to certain, and you know what, the technical person should be answering.
So the question is about how it works. So what we're doing is we're pulling from multiple live data feeds dynamically, which is something Claude is not doing. We're also using open source APIs that is available, right? But we're packaging it based on frameworks that VCs look for, frameworks that accelerators look for. Because you have to understand that AI is very intelligent, but it's like a crazy psychopath, right? Until you give it frameworks and proven frameworks, then it will think and perform in a very specific way, which is what we do.
What is the cost of you buying all of these inputs and like, you know, buying all the reports from all these various sources?
It costs us 25 cents per.
Good job, guys. Judges will give you a second to scribble some notes.
Thank you, guys.
Could you bring me back a water or a can, either? Thank you.
No, Lisa, do you click?
Okay. Got 5 minutes on the clock. Judges, need a second? Take your time. Okay. We've got a timer, we've got a clicker, we've got a microphone. Mm-hmm. 99 for 1
It really is. It's 91 for 9.
Yeah. Oh, please give it up for 99 for 1 AI.
Hi, my name is Matthew Douglas. I'm a co-founder, member of 99 for 1 AI. And I want to talk to you about a friend of mine. His name is Pastor Chip. Pastor Chip had a friend in the church that vanished all of a sudden. And that friend that vanished was going through a family death, marital issues, and he just not showed up anymore. Pastor Chip was like, took it personally. He took it really personally, like he couldn't do anything. He felt like his hands were tied. So, you know, that's really what's happening today. Pastors are responsible for hundreds of people, but they rely on members to raise their hands when something's wrong. It's a reactive, not proactive thing inside of churches, so they lose a lot of members in that. In reality, people go through trauma, often isolate themselves and silently leave the church. We validated this by talking to 3 pastors and hundreds of people. We went around Icon Park, talked to for hours and hours. And the number one thing we found out, why people lose their faith, why people lose just hope, is through trauma and death. They lose a family member and they walk away. We're here to talk about that. And the solution is Shepherd AI. We bridge the gap between crisis and care by empowering pastors with timely insights and giving individuals immediate access, support, guidance, and the tools they need. We're local purpose-driven startup. The local purpose driven means that we are a not-for-profit. We're a B corporation. 20% of our revenue goes back into the community, and the focus we really want to do is re-education and re-empowerment of the homeless. We want to take intelligent technology like AI and teach the homeless how to leverage it. That's what kind of like our side project and why we're doing this. Equipping, and we're going to talk about the technology, and I have Devin here. He's our CTO. He's going to talk about that.
Yeah, so when we were talking to all of these different people, the pastors, as well as the churches, and just people out on the street, one of the things that we noticed is these different data points as far as we asked them, what was the reason that you stopped showing up to church? As well as the reasons why the pastors were also not showing up as well. And we found out that death, divorce, arrest, job loss, and financial change are the top reasons. And those are all things that we are able to scrape and get that data. And then there's also home ownership that is going to be something that would be a data point for a pastor that wants to reach out to these different people. This is what the basic dashboard would look like. This is just our mock-up. It would be simple for the pastor that maybe he's not tech savvy. He just understands, okay, this is the person's name and what the data point was that brought them there onto the website for them to see. And then it's just gonna have a basic reach out to them. We have an idea for an auto pen that would send out a letter, and they would have kind of a customized idea of like, all right, there's a church in my local area using geomapping, and they want you to come join them. Otherwise, if you did reach any of the other data points, then we'd be able to reach out to them as well.
We went to the streets with this. So we spoke with 73 people face to face, and that's where we got down to the bottom of, how's it doing?
I'm sorry.
Is it on automatic? So we went to the streets, we spoke with 72 people. We got 3 pastors on the phone and 1 LOI. Total funding to date is $12,500 from family and friends and other sources. So we're gonna launch this thing with phase 2 is the app. That's the engagement part of it. Phase 1 is a skinning model that's simply an automated event notification monitoring system that notifies pastors of those traumatic events as they occur. That's a skinny MVP model, so low on cost and very low variable cost. And so the total market is 250 million people attend church every year, and about 25 million leave church. Our automated system can identify roughly 500,000 of those events at a per recurring charge.
Thank you guys. Yeah, we had more to share. Any questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
One, I love what you're doing. I'm very aware of this issue from my involvement with ministry, so, but I also know that it's, churches don't have money. You didn't explain I saw $130 per event. So I guess one, how are you gonna overcome the barrier of the fact that churches just generally don't have a lot of funding, and the adoption of technology has been notoriously slow within that environment?
It's a 2x return on the cost. So on average, per member, they give $2,000 per year. And if we have a 20% effective rate, it can save them literally 2x on the cost of the product.
Local churches, the mega churches here, like 1122, we're friends with them. Tim Tebow is a part of that, we're a part of that. 1122, we're associated, like we have fellowship in those large mega churches. And that's where we validated the need. We talked to mega churches.
Yeah, when you have one person that we're able to prevent from leaving the church, their whole family might join. It's kind of a chain of events, especially the pastors. I have my own experience with a pastor that was at a church I absolutely loved, and he was just kind of burnt out, and so this is something that I've noticed a lot, is that they get burnt out because they're overworked. And if we can help them just not be so burdened with all of that, like, it would be awesome.
This isn't money driven, this is helping people driven. Philanthropy is one thing. I have a friend, his name's Kevin Malone. He's founded by the Walmart organizations, multiple philanthropy organizations who have already engaged and said they will commit LOIs. This is not money driven, this is people.
So you actually brought it up earlier about the information that you gather and how you're doing and everything. You see any issues around, like, I saw the privacy, you're talking about scraping, you know, actually any of this information you end up doing, you know, if anybody breaks into these databases and releases any of this very personal information, how are you protecting that?
AWS, so we're relying on third-party socket ports on the privacy side, and the information is coming from public sources via API from clerk workers and scraping news and other sources.
We actually have technologies quantum resistant that was developed by the NSA. It's CNSA 2.0 quantum resistancy, so we understand that measure. We've actually done HIPAA isolation security for major health systems. So in our DNA, we have patents around microsegmentation and zero trust.
Yeah, we didn't get into all of the features, but there was a ton of different features that we had in our longer phases out. We trying to build out just the base feature that is going to be something that is very realistic. We could get it done pretty quickly. And then we also talked to well, you got it. Yeah, we could have talked.
Was that the church one?
Yes. For pastors. Yes.
Does it sound good?
It's interesting. I hope that they take off and that they work it out.
When you hear the clapping sound and the timer's over, you're welcome to clap more vigorously. That's our shepherd's crook, so to speak. Who knows that reference? Well, we got a few.
Yeah.
All right, minds at ease, judges. Okay, you got a microphone? Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Clicker. We've got a timer. Give it up for Trust the Deal!
In 2013, I was driving here in downtown Orlando when a driver in a hurry decided to take a risk and make a blind left turn. He slammed into the left rear side of my Honda Fit. My car ended up in a repair shop for 6 weeks. After a few years, when I was selling the car, I pulled up the Carfax listing for my car and saw minor accident listed under my Carfax. Now let me ask you, does this look like a minor accident to you? You can imagine that living in a world with low quality data like this makes buying a car feel like a huge risk. And at a time when it's more expensive than ever to buy a used car, accurate data is highly valuable. This weekend we spent time at car dealerships as well as Lake Eola, and we heard pain points like unnecessary dealership fees, feeling like you don't really know what you're going to get, feeling scammed, having to talk to salespeople. There's a general theme of lack of trust. To make things even messier, independent sellers are selling on platforms like Facebook Marketplace, and they have to find a way to prove that they are trustworthy and that their car is a good buy. And they're relying on text and a listing description to help them attract buyers. So we are looking for a way to solve a few problems. How might we improve data available from a platform like Carfax? How can we help sellers prove their car is the quality that they say that it is? How can we empower buyers to have a better idea of how to make a decision? Our tool, called Trust the Deal, allows sellers to upload documents that they have for their vehicle. Carfax will be a key partnership for us. We will combine Carfax data with seller uploaded documents, running both sets of data through AI. What does Carfax get? Data that they normally would not have access to from independent sellers that typically exchange cars off the books. What does the independent seller get? A web page that they can add to their Facebook Market listing, that tells buyers that this is a trusted deal, verified vehicle. What do buyers get? They can rest easy knowing that a third party is using intelligence to verify that the Carfax and the seller are telling the same story. Facebook Marketplace has 20 million monthly auto shoppers in the US alone. It's the largest private party car marketplace in the US. There's 50,000 plus new vehicle listings added every day, with 1.2 million active listings at any given time. There's an estimated 2.1 million private party transactions that have happened just in Q1 2026. Sellers are not just selling their car to a dealership, and they know that they can make more money by selling direct. Our customers are independent sellers who are looking for a way to prove that they aren't sketchy and they have a great car available for sale. Our sellers will be given a platform where they can upload documents such as itemized repair bills, service history records, identity verification records, and more. When our verification is complete, they will have a Trust the Deal page to share with their buyers for $29.99. And as more sellers upload data like this, our technology will only become more skilled at detecting accurate information. Our path to profitability has us losing money in year one as we invest heavily in marketing and deal with costs related to our subscription fees like Carfax, as well as our AI costs. But by the second year, having now given Carfax a year's worth of independent seller data, our strategy is to use this data as a negotiating asset with Carfax to lower our costs with them. Our competitors are mostly indirect and sit in three categories: data reporting services such as AutoCheck, physical inspection services such as Lemon Squad, and dealerships providing certification. AutoCheck relies on data from Carfax, and there's no analysis of seller records or identification. Physical inspections are great, but they don't help with document and identity verification. And independent sellers are not inclined to work with dealerships. So the next time you sell your car, don't let the listing sit on Facebook Marketplace for too long. Use Trust the Deal to sell it fast.
All right, team, come up and join us on stage. Judges, do your worst.
So how do you ensure that people are going to upload accurate data or any data whatsoever? Like, what happens if they say, I don't want to upload any data because I want my car to look amazing, and then I'm not going to give you anything?
Our customers are,
So it's for the people who are confident about their vehicle and they are sure that they have enough proofs to make their vehicle look good than Carfax report for any minor accident.
Well, I guess my question is specifically, like in your instance, you went to go sell your car and you look at the Carfax report, it's showing minor accident is much better for you as a seller than if you showed it was a major accident. So why would you ever want to upload the repair bill showing it was a major accident?
well, we definitely don't want to help. Our customer's definitely not a person that's trying to represent themselves inaccurately. We kind of talked about that. That's not a customer. If you're trying to scam someone, we just don't consider you a customer. We also talked about other possibilities, like ensuring that we can help them prove that maybe if there was an accident, that the repair was a quality repair. So there's ways, you know, that even if you don't have a perfect history of your car, that we can still help you sell it by showing that it was handled correctly.
Have you talked to Carfax, or you're projecting that you would have a partnership with them? I wasn't clear on that.
We have not talked to Carfax. We've researched on their site, there's a page where they talk about how you can partner with them. We didn't email them, but
We have emailed them and they have third-party integrations. Yeah, then we can use their service in a bulk, like so they have other dealers use.
How are you going to ensure that from a distribution perspective, people know what Trust the Deal is?
So this is like years of experience. Like let's say we keep getting people who are investing in our platform as a seller. We'll have more data to find what is an authentic piece or not, and we can do better judgments over time. Once this becomes like a trusted platform, you can think like this can scale very easily because people will be like, I need to trust the verification before I'll buy the product.
don't have a working prototype yet, is that correct? This all?
We do.
You did, okay.
There's a QR code up there.
Okay, sorry about that. So, okay, yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
E something.
Number 6. I didn't take a picture of this one.
It was like E services or something with the spear. Can't remember what was that.
All right, my judges are at rest. I have 5 minutes on the clock. You want 2 microphones? Who wants a clicker? You doing slides? Do that little test. That's right. Boom, boom. You're on. Okay. My friends, give it up. For
Hello, I'm Alex. This is my idea of BioPredict. This is how you will know what your food will affect you before it even happens. We have AI-powered predictions that turn your meals into smarter energy, performance, and recovery decisions. We feel off, but we don't know why. Energy crashes after meals, brain fog, and fatigue, and inconsistent workout recovery. This was a common problem that people mentioned when we came to talk to them. People track their data, but they lack the tools to translate it directly into daily decisions. Prediction requires a prescription. Not only will our app predict how your body will respond to foods, it will also prescribe a remedy. So we don't just predict the crash, we provide the exact macro adjustment needed to avoid it. There's a massive shift in health and performance. 100 million plus people are wearing smartwatches. AI in fitness and wellness is projected to grow $47 billion in the next 10 years. And there are 210 million active sleep trackers, which is 30% of North American adults. So if 30% of people can already track their sleep, I'm sure they can track more of their nutrients. So these are our main features, which is the AI food recognition like CalAI, a micronutrient tracker which separates our app from all the other competitors which only track macronutrients, and then the predictive AI which can predict cortisol spikes and stress indicators, low energy, inconsistent workouts, brain fog. Yeah. So this is the personalization loop. First, the user will snap and scan their food. Then the AI will predict and model a forecast of how it will impact them. Then the app will ask the user their feedback, how they felt, and then it uses this information and learns. So by the 30th day, the AI has become a hyper-personalized metabolic model. And the smarter the model gets, the stronger the subscription retention.
Yeah. So why BioPredict? So currently in the market space, there's a few incumbents like MyFitnessPal, CalAI as well, and a few others, right? So some of the pain points when it comes to some of the existing tools, MyFitnessPal is clunky, some of the feedback, as well as you have to manually input the data for the food, which leaves a lot of room for error. With CalAI, it does very good with the photo scanning, so you get the values, but you only get the macro level, so just the calories. We're trying to include, or we will be including the micro nutrients like your calcium and some other values to better use that information to give anticipation and prediction of recommendations for your food. So BioPredict will combine the AI scanning, AI vision of CalAI, but with more detail with the micronutrients, as well as alleviate the clunkiness of the UI experience currently in my MyFitnessPal. So we try to take a look at the market, right? The digital health industry currently right now is evaluated at $300 billion with a B, And when it comes to the precise nutrition predictions and calorie counter products, it's about 6 billion. So there's a lot of room for us to come into the market and take our market share, as well as the growth in it as well. So when it comes to our current business model, we're doing both the business to business and the business to consumer. We have a freemium package, and pretty much just free altogether, with ads, of course, and we can get revenue from the advertisers and the companies in that regard. Also to the regular consumer at $5 a month, that has no ads, so a lot of people like that as well, because we're probably gonna bombard them with ads anyways. And then we go to the B2B. So this is a real good program, because a lot of the companies now that are health conscious, they wanna make sure their associates are happy and healthy, obviously they can work. So we'll try to target HR departments where we can talk about the employer wellness programs. And we'll target gyms, fitness communities, biohacker groups, make sure that we present in a guerrilla tactical way to get the first 100 or so customers.
This is our ask. Currently, we have just completed the early user interviews, and our next milestone is building a working prototype. What we're looking for. We need a team, we need funding to increase the developer team and resources for marketing and sales. We also need help.
Have you guys thought about, or are you adding other biomarkers? So you're talking about people's, nutrition and how they spike, but a lot of that has to do with like their room glucometer, or if you're looking at their biomarkers like blood data, comprehensive metabolic panels. Are you uploading that information or asking people to?
We have looked into it, but it's already saturated. There's too many companies already doing that. So
Hold on, so we do allow the users to input that data, right? So obviously the more data they provide, the more enriched the feedback we'll get. So we're gonna promote that. Obviously, some users are very scared or very reluctant to put the personal data, but our goal is to announce an accuracy rate, and only say the accuracy rate will only improve if they add that data.
But I guess what I'm asking is this integrated into some type of wearable? Because how are you ensuring that whatever you're telling them is accurate and working for their body type?
yeah, we're gonna integrate this into like wearable smartwatches, but not blood glucose, like CGMs.
Yeah, that is possible, and obviously the user can input that data themselves manually.
What about, you talked about prescript, what parts is that? Is that exercise? Is it foods that can balance the things that you shouldn't have done? Are you gonna have something that, like, when you take the picture of this, it's gonna tell you, oh, you can do this, but that's probably not a good idea. I mean, what are you thinking about?
All of that.
Yeah, that's the goal. Thanks to Gene, both reactive and proactive approaches as well, right? So do the historical precedents to make sure we know what happened and try to help anticipate what can happen.
Okay, and then I'll ask the thing, I'll ask the thing that I just keep asking on is, what's to stop other people from doing this? What is it that you see as your secret sauce for this to be different than anybody else adding this to, what would stop Apple from doing this, for example?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the vision is around making it personalized. Obviously, the other incumbents have already existing tools that are being clunky, or that it doesn't give them the value. And then lastly, I think we're going to be security centric. We're going to emphasize making sure that the product and tool is secure by any means.
How are you factoring in disease states, prescription drugs that people are on? I mean, all these tremendously affect your biochemistry.
We would have a feature where users could upload like their current medical documentation, so any problems they're having, and the AI can just read that and make the changes.
Yeah, it'll be a user discussion.
I would be cautious and be sure you get great legal counsel on making predictions and giving advice that puts you almost really close to the medical advice category.
That's a great point. Thank you.
I just found out it's Alex's birthday today. It was weird, huh? Happy birthday, Alex. I'm glad you're here. What a thing to do on your birthday.
Someone's birthday.
It's probably someone else's birthday too. Sorry. I didn't know. Okay. Judges are at rest. 5 minutes on a timer. Come and get a mic. Oh, do you have one mic? Okay, here's your second mic. All right, everything's ready. You got a clicker? All right, let's do it. Come on, people. Give it up for Easter.
Good evening, everyone. Judges, my name is Kevin Scott. I'm a software engineer. I'm founder of eCert, and I have a wonderful team. This is Sardeja, Kevin, he has the same name as me, by the way, and Lucas, our resident Gen Z, and so eCert is a safe riding, stable micromobility safety certification platform. That's a mouthful. So if you could just say the word e-scooter for me. E-scooter. Perfect. That's all you need to remember for right now. Before I continue, I want you to hear something.
Yeah, it was fun to have an e-bike. It helped me get where I need to be. I had no problems with it, but I got hit by a car a couple weeks ago, so right now it's not working right now.
So our resident Gen Z has friends who ride e-bikes, e-scooters, stop thinking, and numerous stories show kids getting in accidents, crazy accidents, not just kids, but teens as well. Our platform is going to provide a help. I won't say a perfect solution, but a help, okay? So there are increased laws in all municipalities to limit accidents and injuries of e-bikes and e-scooters. But there's an increase in accidents. Why? Well, there's unclear rider expectations, ignorance of safety, lack of scalable education. In fact, there was a 4x increase in injuries from 2020. You can't see this, but it says 29,344 accidents in 2020. In 2024, guess how many accidents there were? 115,000. It's almost like an epidemic. It's like using AI as a buzzword. Everyone's using it right now. Basically, this thing is going to get worse. Not just in the United States, not just Florida, globally. You can purchase an e-scooter for the price of a high-end regular bicycle. Times are changing. There are elementary students and middle school students taking e-scooters and e-bikes to school. You will never get rid of this. For economics purposes, it was a $40 billion industry. Right now, it's projected to almost double in a few years. This thing is not going away. The average medical cost for injuries, for reported medical costs that are injuries that happen in a hospital, so not unreported, actually reported, it averages $10 million in costs. This affects you, even if you don't ride an e-scooter or e-bike. So how do we solve this? Well, it requires scalable education. This is why I can say it's a solution 100%, but you can remove hindrances by increasing knowledge of safety, and that's the way you can reduce the accidents. Think driver's ed if you took driver's ed in school. So what is our product? Well, it's a scalable platform that municipalities will use to provide certification on training and safety. So again, when I said driver's ed, when you go to high school, or when you were in high school, depending on, I don't know if Gen Z still has driver's ed. When I was in high school, you could take driver's ed, and all you do is learn about safety, you watch horrible accidents, you get scared, and you're like, man, I don't want to do anything crazy. And then at the end, you don't get a license. You get a stamp and a piece of paper that said, hey, you took this course. This is the same thing. It's going to encourage students who will never, ever purchase this. This is for municipalities and parents to encourage safety. So I'm not going to dive really into the product, but just think of any platform that provides educational or continuing education, that concept. But white label to allow municipalities that have specific rules to be able to use it. We did some customer feedback. We contacted Paula Stark. She's the District 47 representative. She gave us a verbal willingness to sponsor a bill required for safety education for e-bikes and e-scooters. We contacted Valerie Wurtz, which is a Florida Citizens Alliance representative. She, verbal agreement as well. We've gotten 23 signatures and a lot of petitions. I won't dive too much into this. I want to provide more opportunity for it.
So our business model targets municipalities as well as school districts as well as private sectors. It is, as you can see, it is a growing concern that a lot of the government is currently having. So our solution will help bridge that gap to a certain limit. So this is our safety graph. As you can see in the second quadrant, safe and non-official, of course here in Google, anybody can get a certification on those apps, but that don't mean it's officially recognized by the government. Non-official and non-safe in the third quadrant, line and spin, again, they probably give a brief description to their customers, but that don't mean that it's safe. And on the fourth quadrant, non-safe and official, the state county is always like looking for ways to do, but it's not fully safe. And the first is us. Free will is not a certification, and so we provide it.
I didn't hear you mention partnering with e-bike scooters, the e-scooter manufacturers.
Yeah, we actually did not think to partner with the manufacturers. Generally, the manufacturers are overseas, and then they're distributed here in the States. We would love to specifically target municipalities because they're the ones that's going to enforce it. We're providing a platform for education, they would utilize it. We can't do any enforcement. We only provide education.
Do any of you have experience selling to local government or to schools?
I've had experience with selling to local government. Our platform, they will definitely be interested because one, a lot of governments, they're trying to move forward with the technology and a lot of their technology is very outdated, especially right now with the micro mobility right now. It's something that is growing and that they want to provide the safety feature for their young, especially their young crowd and those that can't afford like cars and stuff like that. So that would definitely be a solution that they're looking to.
In addition, you guys don't know this, but I used to be an educator. I was a professional teacher for 7 or 8 years in Orange County Public School before becoming a software engineer.
What's the revenue model? I didn't see that.
The revenue model is our target audience are municipalities. So currently there is, from our research, no direct national or district level certification platform used by these governments. So we would create the platform. They would pay like a fee, subscription fee. And they would provide vouchers for users. So in like driver's ed in high school, each student who signs up, they have a login, ID, that voucher is paid by the district.
So you mentioned you're gonna do the certification. What do you get at the end of the day? You get something that you can show somebody, and who's gonna like go through the verification validation of this? Is it gonna be people in the school system? Is it gonna be law enforcement? I mean, who's ultimately gonna end up making sure that you verify?
That's a beautiful question. By the way, I was an intern at Disney, and you gave me advice one time. We'll talk afterwards.
Oh, okay.
But it was really good advice. It was like life-changing. But I only have 50 seconds. Remember, yeah? You told me some good stuff. Yeah. But to answer your question, that is a perfect question. But it blends our business model with another business model. We're not enforcing, we're not even providing certification that is outside of the education. So I'm specifically giving the example of driver's ed. When you finish driver's ed in school, you don't get a permit. You don't even get a license. All you do is get a piece of paper showing that you took safety measures and you have a reduced ignorance. So our goal is to reduce ignorance, which we believe will increase safety. And the revenue model is guaranteed because people care about health.
Well, one of the things that they used to do on the driver's ed, I don't know if it's still the case, but you used to be able to get your learner's permit sooner. So could that be something like this, where people will, as they're riding on the property, that they can like ride on the property
Yes,
for the
but we-
schools?
I'm sorry. Check.
been 54 hours since our last startup weekend in here. Wait, no, somebody pulled a muscle a few hours ago. That's right. Yeah.
We all were.
Patient zero. All right. Judges, you look ready. Timer, clicker, microphones. It's your turn. Give it up for Mission Reboot!
Thank you very much. We are Mission Reboot. My name is Michael Frost. I'm an 11-year U.S. Army veteran. I was an E-War specialist. I was employed at Booz Allen as a data capital engineer after I left. And I also worked for Team Rubicon doing disaster response work after the fact. And I came here hoping that I could do more for other people. Joseph Crenshaw, he was doing well. He struggled with addiction. He found a program, but he died anyway. Because when something went wrong, there was no system. There was no support network. There was no anything to give him a second chance. And so we ended up as just another star on the Orlando Christmas tree. That one city, 1 year. This is truly missing. 136 people. That's probably the right one. 136 people died last year because they were homeless. That was the only thing that they did wrong. There are currently a reported, and this is the important part, reported 2,700 people that are homeless. 8,000 registered Orange County students that are also homeless. And we're not really doing anything to help them. But the reality is we are. It's just we can't get anything to them. There's no one to call at 2 a.m. when you have nowhere to sleep. I wanted help, but I didn't know where to start. Every time I tried, the system fell broke. Until now.
Yeah, I don't know. People from Mission Reboot are here. They said that they got something that can help me.
I'm here to help you steady the situation. Tell me what feels like the heaviest load right now. I can start fixing it for you.
I was on the streets, so I was living in a foxhole, sleeping in a foxhole a couple nights, and I don't really know how to adjust to this world anymore, man. It's when all the fighting stops and all the guns stop. What am I supposed to do with all this silence?
I hear you. The silence can feel louder than anything. Right now, let's focus on one clear step. Would you like me to set up a call to connect you with someone who can help you adjust? Or would you rather I arrange a quiet, safe place for tonight first?
Figure I could use a place to stay.
I'll get that arranged. I'll contact a vetted shelter for you and confirm availability. Just hold tight and I'll have you on your way to rest soon.
Thank you, sir.
You've got it. Will it be?
So Mission Reboot is a one platform, 3 lifelines. It's a live resource map where people that are homeless can go ahead and find a map and go find shelters, churches. We have an AI case manager with 24/7 guidance and a reboot path, which gives them a step-by-step plan to move from crisis to stability. This is our Mission Reboot app called Operation Bootstrap, and pretty much it helps you find near shelters, 24/7 support, as well as the actual reboot path on the app.
Every dollar has a name. $10 is one night in the shelter for someone with nowhere to go. $5 is a hygiene kit. We have partners with shelters, churches, nonprofits integrated on the map. Mission Reboot is in the charity. We didn't wait, we built it.
We have 50 real interviews, a live website. We already have funds raised. We have $30 cash in hand. We have a GoFundMe already set up and a live website. This is the most important part. Every interaction improves the next. We have a real-time signal, what works for whom and where. We are improving policy. We become the source of record for the homeless policy. Cities need our data for federal funding. Federal contracts, research, ESG markets, policy influence, inaccessible for any later entrant.
And this is our wonderful team: Andrew, Frost, Katie, Mike, William, and Rami. So thank you guys again.
Forgot to give you one of the.
Oh yeah, and Houston, of course. Can't forget about Houston.
Well, thank you for your service, sir, and any of the rest of you that are veterans as well. Huge problem. Lots of efforts going on to try to solve this, obviously. Did you reach out to anyone who is involved in the homeless effort here locally, like Coalition of the Homeless or anyone with the city?
Yes, we did. I reached out to them. I got the letter of intent on Friday, so it doesn't count Friday morning. And I reached out with others, so the Salvation Army we went to, we talked to all the homeless over there. We also, it's on the next slide, the Mayor's Veteran Advisory Council will be pitching May 1st, it's a 3-minute pitch for that, to try to get more involvement. And also we posted on LinkedIn, we have a few people reach out to us and say they want to help.
So you'll be pitching to the Mayor's Veterans Advisory?
The Mayor's Veterans Advisory Council.
Oh, you'll be.
I used to actually be on that council myself when I was actually representing Rubicon. The goal here is to represent other nonprofits and allow them to reach the homeless community so they can actually reach the customers that they're trying to. And we charge them a certain nominal fee so they can actually access the people they're trying to, because they don't have enough people to access the homeless as they are. And that is principally what we're trying to do.
You said, I'm sorry, you said you're not a charity. Are you a nonprofit or?
We're planning on being a nonprofit.
It takes 5 days though, so we couldn't do it before.
Okay, but that's your intended business.
So I kind of think of you all as like middleware then, right? Is that what you are? You're
Yes,
like
that's
the
exactly
bridge.
what we are.
You're doing the bridge between, like, by the way, really moving nicely done. And those of us who, I think a lot of us that work in these environments.
Because we're
it's a
building
big
data
deal.
for larger.
Have you talked to Coalition, that's awesome, there's a lot of.
And we're getting access to phones
Are
for
you
homeless.
familiar with Christian Help? That's another organization.
Yeah.
We're doing some work with them. What?
UAP.
UAP. What about Habitat for Humanity? I mean, are you looking at like, this will get them there, and you think about long-term, like where you can go after this?
The goal is we're trying to actually organize on a much larger level so we can actually use proximal data to make sure services get to where they need, so we're not wasting money where it isn't needed.
Just for like, I just wanna make sure I'm understanding though, you're hoping that you're going to arm volunteers or people with this app on their phone, if I'm out and I see a homeless person, I now have Mission Reboot
Right.
app and I'm utilizing that.
We're creating a homeless social network. So one person gets the phone, they rank up, so they're trustworthy, then they give the phone to, a new phone to somebody else. So.
Oh, thank you.
Is it live? Oh, okay, come on. Alec, how are things over here? judges, minds at ease. We've got 5 minutes on the clock. We've got 2 microphones and a clicker, and now I need an audience. Come on, give it up for Constance!
Okay, imagine holding your aging mother's hand or trying to declutter a lifetime of belongings. Now I want you to imagine doing so one item at a time.
For Gone Today Pros, we plan on solving this problem of the frustration and just there's a lot of emotional attachment to the items. And we plan on building a platform that will allow Yvette to sell all of the items on one post at one time and have it all gone at once. So instead of going through the frustrations of people not showing up, people haggling, that we can have a system of buyers with reputation. There's a whole ecosystem out there of resellers who get a bunch of items and then sell it off one at a time. I don't know if you've seen them at flea markets, or we met a guy that was in his backyard and he just had hangers of clothes that were lined up. Those resellers, their biggest pain in their environment is having access to items. So these two problems can cancel out. Someone that wants to get rid of a lot of stuff in a short amount of time without any haggling, and someone who for a living buys a large amount of stuff at one time can bid on Yvette's items. And right now in the market, in the United States, there's about $218 million in revenue from garage sales each year. There's about 8 million garage sales a year, 160,000 a week. If you include thrift stores, consignment, and other secondhand shops, there's $61 billion a market, and it's been growing 8% year over year. If we can connect to 5% of that 200 million, and that's just from the yard sales, we can get $10 million. Now try to imagine how much of Yvette's stuff that was thrown away that is not included in these numbers, and the scalability gets pretty large. I skipped a step, sorry. But yeah, going to the landfill, a conservative estimate is there's a greater than $10 billion of think furniture, electronics, even jewelry, nice tables, things that people are too tired and frustrated and don't have enough emotional bandwidth to sell, just going to waste. I am falling behind the pace, so I'm going to move a little bit faster. We're building a market platform, streamlines the transactions, reduces time and hassle. The underlying magic is our app. You can take the picture, AI will sort the items and price them, and then give the seller a recommended starting bid, and then the buyers can come in and start, $20 for that lot, $30. Here's our competition. We are online and affordable, but there's affordable ones that are offline, change of hand for cash. Craigslist, Marketplace. I don't think I need to tell anybody here the frustrations behind that. You can hire estate sale brokers, like if there's a death or if you're moving, but you have to pay for them, and they come in and they take a large chunk of your cash. And then, or you can just pay for someone to remove your junk. Again, you're paying somebody, you're not getting any money back from it.
All right, so the way that we plan actually to make revenue is through commission. So through each sale that we have a commission that we're planning to take. Also, because we're going to take transaction fees, and what that means is we want serious buyers. So for each time someone wants to go ahead and make another bid, we take a commission off of that. We actually take a transaction fee. And sometimes the AI may have people that have items that don't have any value at all. We plan to take advantage of that by doing advertising for junk removal. So right now we're just gonna do a quick display of how the demo goes. Here, this is the app. They will take a picture of the items in bulk, and once they take a picture, then the AI would go ahead and give it a value where they will see the value of the items. And once they see the value, let's go ahead and analyze, and then you'll be able to see the value. The seller sees the value. This is how much you could get once they bid, right? So then they'll go ahead and they'll post it. After they post it, these are the bids that they would get, and they can accept or decline the offers.
Snap it, loaded, done.
How are you validating pricing? Because that's just showed a chair for $234. How are you validating how much someone is willing to pay?
So that is, the pain point that we're trying to solve is the frustration of getting rid of the stuff. A lot of the people that we found out in the markets, they don't really, they have something a lamp that they've had for so many years and it's $10. Someone will say, I'll give you $3 for it. It's like, well, go away, I'm not gonna give it to you now. This one, instead of going through that pain, it's gonna be you're gonna lose a lot of money. AI is gonna guess best. And then we're even gonna cut 90% of that down. So you're not making a whole lot of money as a seller on here. But you're saving a lot of time, a lot of emotional bandwidth, and a lot of pains. So, is it accurate? No. Are those numbers accurate?
Yeah.
Very much no. This is a demo. We did our best. But you're
you
not
will be
going.
saving a lot of emotional pain. I can attest to that.
Well, as someone who's in the middle with my sister, trying to clear out our parents' house from decades of accumulated, I'm like, where is this now, right? So there's the issue that my parents grew up. I grew up in a real small rural community. There's not a big market around necessarily. So, but I'm not going to ship stuff. How are you gonna address that? Because if it's Facebook Marketplace or
So
Craigslist or something,
ideally,
usually localized.
ideally the reseller will come to you and take the lot.
Right, so to make it more clear, as soon as they bid on it, they have 24 hours to come get the lot. If they don't get it, it goes back on the platform. The whole thing's for it to be done quick, right now, let's go.
So local.
Yes, local, yes, it's local.
As local as the reseller.
Again, I think, this is something I just keep asking these kind of things, but you did have Facebook over their marketplace. They're not doing this. But again, what would keep them from doing this?
So you've asked that every time, so we prepared. This is definitely we made it in the past 24 hours. It is repeatable. We don't have anything that's proprietary in there, but we're first to markets. And on top of that, it's a reputation-based system. So all the sellers are gonna get our 4 stars, they're gonna get reviews, and they're gonna be a more attractive reseller, and they'll build a reputation that's gonna make it difficult for them to move to another platform.
Okay, yes, and I have experience with Facebook Marketplace, and the biggest issue is going back and forth with unserious buyers. We will have the serious buyers. These are people that are actually looking for good deals.
So you've got the challenge of the two-sided market. You need to market to the sellers, you also need to market to the buyers. Where are you gonna start?
Buyers.
Buyers.
Buyers, period, yeah. There's a small ecosystem of these people. They're in the fringe of society, but they want the money.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
We got a timer, we got clickers, we got stuff, we got wonderful judges.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Taylor View.
Hi, I'm Brittany, and this is the problem I solved. In case you didn't know, these are clothes that I thrifted that I cannot fit. So, the problem is that online resellers, AKA online thrift retailers and online vintage retailers, they're losing sales because their clothing doesn't fit their customers, and their customers are dissatisfied.
The reason why is because they're frustrated that the clothes don't fit, and how would they know that if they're buying them online? There's no way for them to try it on. There's no way for them to know that. So our app, Tailor View, it allows the buyers to view the clothing in an online, for the online retailers, in a 3D model of themselves. So it'll be their build, their body type, an exact 3D replica of them. It eliminates the problem of our clients, customers, having to have guesswork about whether or not the clothes will fit their body. So we stand out from all the poser competitors because of our simplicity. So our clients' buyers will no longer need to know their measurements before they go onto their website to look for the clothes. Our app will scan the body measurements. You mind going to the next one for me, please? This is just an example of how it works. So simply they would take a picture of themselves through the app. It'll upload a 3D digital model, and they can actually click on whichever top or bottoms that they're looking at trying on, and they don't have to know their measurements. It calculates everything for them, no guesswork, and there you go. Would you mind clicking the next one? Okay. So who we target? We target specifically the online thrift and online vintage retailers with a subscription-based software. That's who this product is for. So we are the first in the US to market this specific concept. We don't have any direct competitors. And our key team players for making this come to life would be investors to help fund the upfront costs, developers to help develop the software for our online retail clients to use. And we also like to get in touch with prominent influencers in the online thrifting and vintage retail markets. This is a breakdown of the business model. So our financials look like $1,500 a month for these online thrifting and vintage retailers to use our software. It's about $18,000 a year in annual contract revenue. Our goal would be acquiring 3 new clients a month. Year 1, we'd like to have 36 clients. Year 2, 72. And then by year 3, 100 clients. This is Tailor View. Thank you so much.
I have so many questions because I'm such a shopper in life. I guess my first is, why is this only for thrifting and vintage? Why not all retailers? Because I would say for me, one of my biggest challenges is when something is final sale, you don't want to buy it because you have no idea if it's going to fit.
So I'm an avid thrifter, and that's a big problem I found is that when it comes to thrifting and vintage, usually in online, there is no return policy. Once you buy it, if it was $200 for a dress and you don't fit it, you're out of luck. They don't take it back.
Also, we looked at some of the other market, and it looks like there's some of this service, sometimes with Amazon and some of these other ones at a minute, like the higher levels. And they said the niche really would be the secondhand retail and then vintage shopping.
One more question, how is the buyer measuring the clothing? Because just because there's sizing on the clothing, we all know that that's not real. So is the buyer measuring each of their items before they put in their marketplace?
So the buyer wouldn't be the one measuring. It would be the online retailers who was our direct clients.
Sorry, the sellers.
Yes, the retailers. They would be the ones making sure that the measurements are on the clothing when they upload them to the website. All the clients of theirs have to do is just scan themselves in the app. They don't need to know their measurements. The app does everything for them.
Sorry, but the seller is going to have to now measure all of their clothes.
When they upload it.
When they upload it, and you're going to tell them exactly what they need to measure, shoulders, arms, all those things. Prior to upload, so every item they're not going to upload and measure?
Technical guys.
There is the capability of them doing it. It just might not be 100% accurate, but it's close to. But this market, anyways, they usually do the measurements anyways. So, yeah.
So what he said is in regards to the scan the clothing, it might not be as accurate as you just scan the clothing. That is something you could do quick, but if you did the measurements, it would be better.
So just a follow-up question on what you asked, which is exactly what I was wondering, but that actually had an idea. So I think if you could figure out how to do that also, to where you just throw the item out there, it automatically, you have it on some kind of grid, and it automatically figures out all those measurements, and then that automatically uploads, and then that way, the people can do that. And I think if you do that, that might not even be something that somebody has here. So you might wanna think about a provisional on that before you leave.
Awesome, thank you.
Well, and you may have some online retailers that they want that part,
Yes.
but not for the buyers to have to scan themselves. You've actually got two potential products here, one easier to sell,
Right.
first one easier to sell.
And if you bring that as an integrated package to them, then there are a lot
And you
more
can make a
efficient
transaction
ways to do
fee,
that. Right.
make that as a transaction fee as opposed to a monthly price.
I've observed that when I give the judges like 10 or 15 seconds after each piece, then they can get their notes down, and then when we're in the deliberation room later, it's much easier than if I rush them, so.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This works out in the end.
You're doing a
It's
great
okay,
job.
we already went, you can rush them.
Oh, yeah. Rush the rest of the team. All right, we've got a timer. We're done scribbling. Okay, microphones, get a little check.
Check, check.
Give it up for Sharon Apple!
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, judges. Do you know your neighbors next door? Oh, okay, maybe next door, but what about 3 doors down? According to our research, you do not. And for HOAs, whose promise is a thriving community, today that promise is broken.
I was fortunate enough to be born in the United States and pretty old, where we had great neighborhoods. We played kick the can, we knew our neighbors, if we ever needed anything, we'd go right there and say, I'm out of chocolate chips. I also was an educator for 25 years, and my #1 goal was creating community in my classroom. When I had community, I could teach.
So inability to deliver a tight-knit community for their residents is expensive for HOAs. Think about it. So high turnover rate, unsafe neighborhoods, and negative reviews.
So what we're doing is helping HOAs turn neighborhoods into truly thriving communities.
So where are we at now in that delivery of the value? We are 60% done developing our app, and we actually have a letter of intent from Empire Management Group with 45,000 households. This is our app. I'm not going to spend too much time on the app, but our cornerstone feature right now is the community calendar. And the way it works is if anybody's bored and they're lonely, they want to hang out, they decide to go and use one of the amenities that put down an event there, and the neighbors see it. They're welcome to come and join them. And what's missing here is the chat, because we want you to come out and actually have a face-to-face interaction with your neighbors.
So what's lovely is even though the coyote is running all over the neighborhood and everybody on next door is worried about the coyote, in order to talk about the coyote, you gotta have an event, and then we're gonna chat face to face.
Boom. So this is the underlying magic, really. Community doesn't happen by accident, right? The magic is in the momentum. So one connection sparks a friendship. Before long, HOA isn't just managed, it's alive and thriving, right? The promise is not broken.
And the one thing that AI, that you can't replace, is face-to-face. So as long as we have technology in our society, we are also gonna run into the issue of isolation. And it's a side we don't really want to talk about, but face-to-face and building community is really the key to making a safer world.
So what is our business model? It's a subscription-based service managed and facilitating self-hosted events at HOA's amenities among neighbors. And then we do it is it is paid by HOA at $1 per month per household. What is our go-to-market plan? It's we have a pilot program, as mentioned, with Empire HOA's 300 communities here in Central Florida, and out of that, we're going to scale out to other HOAs. There's 50,000 HOAs in Central Florida. Additional connections that we all share amongst the four of us is 80,000 households, again, for our network. Our competitive analysis, we have two companies that we came across. Is a Time Left. They facilitate meetings among strangers in local restaurants. And Meet 5, it's another company actually based out of Europe, but they are here in the US as well. And they also facilitate user-generated activities among strangers, hosted in a variety of local spaces here locally, chosen by users. So it's a user-generated type of thing going on. Financial projections is our partnership with Empire HOA, 300 HOAs. Again, $1 per household per month, that's $45,000 a month. Our timeline and status, for $2,000, we're gonna organize legally and protect our IP. For $6,000, product development, and for $7,000, market entry and creative production to achieve our goal. And this is our wonderful team. Thank you.
With Empire, did you talk to the CEO of Empire? How'd you?
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of questions did he ask?
We really jumped into community and we started talking immediately about what do you need as an HOA? He said, people are lacking community. They really want community. And then we did a kind of a deep dive about community.
Yeah, that was a really important problem for them because when people feel that they are part of a community, they tend to stay there and the turnover is much lower. And that has a huge impact on the finances because they don't have to invest a lot of money finding new tenants and new people to join their communities.
How is this very different than like a next door?
Well, basically, what we do is we build different activities and platforms that community can, that neighbors can interact. This is more focused on a live interaction, not an online interaction.
Yeah.
How are you going to plan events?
Well, it's easier generated, and as far as next door is a centralized social network, where here each community has a different, it's isolated bubble, so to speak, right? Every HOA is going to have a portal, so to speak, right? And they're different from one another. Even though Empire has 300 HOAs, they're all going to be different. Each HOA is going to have different users.
Next door is a little bit more like an advisement, like this is going on in the neighborhood. This is specifically an event planning within the community.
So along those lines, are you thinking of having the HOA go like manage it? We'll have like a calendar manager person that'll be like a central thing, or will this exist outside? Who manages the calendar?
That's a great thing. We plan to build a set of layers. When you have a super admin that is a management company, and then you have users for the HOA that are going to be managing and supervising the content, and then one user for per household to manage the household interaction with them.
Also, HOAs, they do organize events themselves, and it's very resource intense. Where here it's a user generated, could be spontaneous, could be something that happening a week from now. Could be spontaneous. I want to watch a movie at a clubhouse. I don't have anybody, I'm going to put it on my calendar, I'm going to show up at a clubhouse, and maybe my neighbors will show up.
Yeah, I'm going to be bringing some burgers here, and if you want to join.
Did Empire, when the LOI came in, and I assume it was obviously over this weekend, they agreed to your price point and all of that?
Yeah, we talked about a model that was focused on households instead of users, because that makes like a more predictable price point.
I'm just asking, did they agree to pay you $45,000 a month?
Hey, are these somebody's Woody sunglasses up here? Who's got these rainbow Woodies? I got some new sunglasses? Okay. Are these yours? Oh, excellent. Okay.
Number 10. This is number 10.
All right, give it up for both sides.
Every couple fights, but it's not conflict that destroys a relationship. It's misunderstanding what your partner really meant. That's exactly what happened with me and my ex. We would keep fighting over and over for the little things, and every time we had a conflict, we would just go to our best friend, ChatGPT, and we would complain and went away. ChatGPT would tell me, "You're correct." It would tell my ex, "You're correct." And this resulted in an escalation of our conflicts. And this kept happening over and over until we had to part ways. So that's when, in retrospect, we decided it would have been better if there was a neutral, unbiased entity that could have been a mediator between the two of us, and it would have significantly helped us and changed our lives. And that's when I met my friend Bhuvanesh.
Well, what could have been a very small problem to Ajay costed a relationship. Well, if not Ajay per se, anyone in his shoes would have solved this problem by, when they have access to AI tools, they would have reached out to ChatGPT, or probably involved a third person or a friend, or at the most, if they would have spent more bucks on therapy. To validate these findings, we went to the common people and asked, like, what exactly or how did they even cope up with those situations? Well, when they started talking, we were actually moved. Like, everyone have been there. They always felt like, the situations were escalated unnecessarily. At the max, they want some time where they could have actually spoke or actually listened. And they also feel confident in involving a third person in between in case if it would have de-escalated the situation. Well, that's exactly what our product does. So it actually takes input from both the sides. Right now, ChatGPT or Claude, it does not do. It just takes one side, and after 3 or 4 prompts, it really goes as an S mission. So it reassures what you feel and probably validates you. So our product keeps a track of the relationship, it keeps the track of your behavior, and also it monitors the physical health, and based on that provide space, and it doesn't provide any verdict. Well, it doesn't take any stand. This is the working flow where first a person inputs, and then the model nudges the other person, and once the second input is given by the second person, the model shares the point of view from both persons.
So why now? Timing. The market is growing to $26 billion, and LLMs can finally do this. It was something that we weren't able to do 12 months ago. 70% of couples struggle during their relationship, and 44% are already using AI, as Bruce said, to go out and seek help, but it's biased help, it's reaffirming, and it's not the kind of support that we want to give them. Our app is the only one that combines the emotional intelligence with physical awareness, with the wearables, making sure that people are well slept, well rested, and their heart rate is not off the roofs, to make sure that there's common understanding. So, our business model and our go-to-market strategy. We're going to first approach the B2C models, and we're going to offer 90 days, so there's buy-in, and there's already a track record, and they start using the app. there's gonna be a channel where we're gonna grow into the partners with counselors where we can white label it for them, so we're not managing the relationship, they're just managing themselves, and they keep all the proprietary information. We just take a slice of all the people that they're serving. So that's one of the most important parts of when you're in a counseling and you need counselors. You only see them maybe once a month, maybe 2 times a month. This keeps the conversation going, mutually comfortable for everybody involved. And we have a working website. If anybody needs support, sign up for the wait list. We have about 25 registered people willing to pay right now. We have a landing page ready, and we have a prototype of a minimum viable product. We wanted to show it, but we didn't have time to go through it. And where we sit in the market, we're the only ones that are bringing that physical awareness, and that is also keeping track of the relationship over time. And
this is a working prototype which is actually not hosted in cloud, but we have it running in local. And you see where like the user, confirms and then it nudges the other person over there.
How are you gonna market this? How are you going to market this?
We have a different strategy for those markets. So initially, we're going to partner with social media and bring it to the people, because we can now read what people are commenting. So once we see that people are commenting about the relationship on Reddit, we can post it like as a third-party trial or thing, and we can address the issues on the head when they're complaining about it, when they're going to the public forums to say, this is what my partner's doing, and then that's when we can automate the system to tell them, hey, there's this tool out there, go try it. During the 90 days period, there's going to be an onboarding, and it's going to help spread the word on a peer-to-peer basis.
And how do you handle like privacy issues? Because I would think a lot of people would be nervous.
Yeah, that's a good question. And actually, they are already using LLMs. So when you use an LLM, you're giving that information to them already. Our system is going to be completely private. We're not able to see any of the information, and neither is once it's white labeled to the counselors, they're going to own the information. They're going to have their logo on it, and the counselor can keep the conversation going even if they're not in therapy.
I could see where, a lot of users aren't gonna go to therapists, right? Therapists are one market, but just the general consumer is another one. So we already have this issue of isolation and separation when people, we have our heads down and buried in digital and AI. At what point do you teach them how to talk to each other?
This is precisely what it does, because it helps the people, it helps each party understand their own emotional and bring the tone to a place where the A says, is this what you want to say? Or maybe, you didn't sleep well for the past 3 days, so make sure you get some rest, and rephrases in a way that doesn't put the emotion first, or it doesn't, bring sarcasm.
It strips away the emotion and keeps only the subjective facts. And then, portrays the facts as is and have an unbiased view. So, that's objective.
Have you thought about like jump starting this with the way people are, like their personality metrics and indexes?
That's a good question. And during our validation, we found a great opportunity to send this to HR resource. So that will be like a second, further down the line, where we can bring it to HR, and it can even help in the workplace scenarios where they can understand what the personality archetypes and help resolve workplace issues.
You might actually want to consider that market first. I think that's a bigger issue. That's probably a bigger pain point.
We have plans for growth.
I would seriously look at that business environment.
We have a couple of, we were this close to getting a letter of intent from the VP of HR.
How do you get numerics amount of time? How do you get fire markers like the sleep data? How do you get that data?
From once you get the app, it's going to ask you if you want to connect it to your mattress.
Come on in. Don't be
give up yet,
Yeah.
please.
That's good. That means you're thinking about it. Yeah. Okay, we got 5 minutes on the clock. Judges are ready. Oh, yeah. Come on, give it up for Hermes Med!
We are so excited to meet the scorching pain of the private practice market. Medicare and billing is slow, painful, and doctors and patients and insurance companies are suffering. It's a real plight. Co-founded by a recently exited owner of 14 clinics and a medical doctor, say hi. Our customers are direct to practice, medical management firms, and medical coding firms. We interviewed 21 customers across all 3 of our target audience. Same core issues: limited time with patients. I can't get updated research. Denial rate 30% on claims. 40% of providers are actually suffering with underpayment, so when they actually get paid. 30% of billing is uncollectible. Dr. Sean Hamilton referred to the process as a plight. Doctors need an easier, faster way to go. Hermes Med is the Palantir of medical process. We don't tell you how to practice. We make sure you have everything you need to practice at your best. Accelerated decision support, personalized treatment, and the policy. Policy justified insurance billing. Execution. How it works. Ali?
Sure. So the current process, we're just jumping right into that flow. We don't interrupt what the doctor already does. Input sources come directly from the EMR, which is what the doctor uses to manage their customers, or they input the patient symptoms directly if their EMR for some reason does not allow export, right? We do real-time live medical journal research. We do a treatment over policy coverage, right? So essentially the treatment is based on that personal user, right? And then rated against their insurance policy coverage. And then obviously the billing is automatically submitted as soon as the doctor approves. And here it is in action.
This is the vault. These are previous, this are the symptoms.
Billing lookup.
We're entering, you can either sync from the EMR or enter the symptoms directly. It's live retrieving. This tool is critical. Most doctors do not have time to get out and get the updated. It takes on average 17 years. To have this live literally saves lives, saves people from getting misdiagnosed or undiagnosed. It even gives a decision tree. This is an incredible tool for the doctors and the caregivers to use in the information. Now the potential diagnoses, likely this is pulling from live resource documents with the insurance codes. This is huge. This gives us a decision tree. It's not diagnosing, it's giving the tools for us to work smarter when the patient's in front of us and not having to do follow-up. And this has been vetted. We've put so much information, it's pulling live, incredible happening at the time.
So what we're doing is a real-time matrix, right, for both the patient and against the policy. So we're actually determining the billing code on the fly, and then of course using the policy language for compliance. So most of the time the insurance companies are using that to deny the claims. Well, we're using their own policy against them. So the output is obviously in real time. You can talk back with it and dive deeper into the information that's pulling live from medical journals. But in addition to that, it also outputs a PDF report that has a one-page summary that everyone, including the patient, can understand, the clinical rationale, and of course the grounding sources, and 5 pages of fighting the insurance company language.
Business model, right? So we're allowing more patient time by accelerating accelerating decision making, reducing denial rates by designing around compliance with patient insurance policies, and we're automating the billing. We also already submitted an application with the Medical Association. National market is huge. We have the MVP prototype. We've already got 21 demos scheduled with actual private clinics.
Insurance is a huge plus.
So
Yes.
is the target market practices, group practices, not hospitals?
The target market is private practices and PE firms that have roll-ups, so medical management companies that own a bunch of private practices.
Okay. And most of the time, those practices don't have an IT person. And anybody in the industry knows the whole debacle around trying to get electronic medical records implemented. How are you gonna address that barrier to entry?
So we plug right into their existing EMR, right? Almost all of the EMRs, not all of them, but almost all of the EMRs have endpoints or export functions. We don't own any of the data, we don't store any of the data. Of course, we know how to handle it. We have backgrounds that allow us to handle the data if we had to, but we don't own it. We just basically are the pass-through, and then we plug back in. We're really a billing and medical coding company.
I'm getting Michael's question here.
Yes.
Most doctors, or I can at least speak for my doctor, is using AI already in every diagnosis and everything and sending me a readout with all of my information. How is this different and why is it different? Or why can someone else not utilize this or make it?
Sure, I have access to those different tools too. This is actually pulling live with the journals, the peer-reviewed journals that are there, and it also gives access to research that hasn't been publicly, I guess, popularized. Also, the other thing is it's attached to the codes. And if there's not a code attached, or if they've got to stop treatment or pause the whole system to go find the code, is there a code? What's the billing? Does their insurance cover it? That's
Productizing the flow, right? So your doctor, you said it, your doctor is using AI already, and they're also paying a medical biller encoder. We're coming in and replacing the medical biller encoder and have the lookup function all in one piece. So as the diagnosis is determined, it's already coded and it's already submitted, all automatic.
So that, to answer more to your question, typically what would happen is we would decide what to do, and then it goes and the back office has to figure it out. This is actually live and makes that more seamless, so you don't have the denials. It's 20% at least. Those are conservative numbers, and that's at least that's being denied and under reimbursed, and you only have so much time. Most of these providers are not having time.
And so is that for pharmaceuticals too? Or are you looking up and seeing which pharmaceuticals are covered? As a
We
result of
have
diagnosis?
plugged-
Because
we-
some of those are, well, your Medicare or whatever is not gonna cover that.
We're plugged directly into FDA-approved off-label uses,
Yeah, but
so yes.
what about the insurance companies though? Because they're only gonna allow you to get certain things.
We're looking at the policy and matrixing that against the
You wanna do
solution
it
for
now?
society.
Okay. Last, I got one, last one. So, Epic then, so when you think about those things, right? Epic can do this, right?
Yeah. Could do it, but.
Congratulations, you did it! That was good. Yeah, 11 teams. Wonderful presentations. I'm just going to give the judges 5-10 seconds to scribble. While they do that, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of instruction, okay? You've just been working closely with your teams so intensely for the last couple days. You've now seen some other people's work, and I know you bumped into them throughout the weekend. I want to encourage you to meet someone that you haven't talked to. And I mean, if you're not socially exhausted, we probably all are, but during dinner now, you have time to relax for a few minutes. The judges are going to go deliberate, And the moment you feel ready, I'm going to invite you to go to the deliberation room via the buffet table. Alec is your chaperone. He's going to make sure you get some food, and he's going to take you to a secret location. Everybody else stay seated. Don't leave. Stay in this room. You are a captive audience. The judges are escaping. I have two things for you. First of all, scan this code. We have an activity. We're going to do a special award tonight. I want you to scan this code and fill out my Google form. Is it working? Yes. So it asks you two things. What team were you on? If you weren't on a team, there's going to be an option for I didn't build a startup this weekend. But I want to know what team you're on, and I want to know what team you liked. Tell me about a different team. Some team that you liked, and tell me why you liked it. Okay, I'm going to let the judges go get food first. And as soon as they have cleared the buffet line, we'll open it up. We have some great Panda Express, and it smells amazing out there. It's nice and hot. But first, fill out this. Has everybody scanned it? Scan that now. Don't delay.